Okay, we are going to take a look at number 7 on the chapter 6 final review. And so just a reminder here, we are actually trying to make sure we understand the difference between definite and indefinite loops. Remember, definite is a loop iterates a predetermined number of times. There's a definite amount. It uses a counter. It's like the coach saying, go out and run 7 laps. You know specifically predetermined how many laps that you are to write or to run, and so then you count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what a definite loop does as well. An indefinite loop is the loop iterates until an event happens, and so that would be like the coach saying, I need you to go out and run for 10 minutes, and then you can stop. And so we don't know how long each user is going to run those, or how many times each user is going to run a lap within those 10 minutes, because people's fitness varies. And so we can't say, okay, well, this person's going to run 7, this is going to run 3. It is indefinite. We do not know. The user enters an input to declare that he or she wants to stop would be one example of an event that happens. So that could be the coach saying, you know, go and run until you get tired or you want to stop. And so the user does that, and then they decide, I want to stop. Okay, we don't know when the user is going to do that. And then the next one is the value of accumulating variables cause the Boolean expression to be false and stop the loop. So it might be just one accumulating variable, or maybe 2 working together that cause the Boolean expression to stop. And so note the number of loop iterations in an indefinite loop will vary depending on the user. It's not a predetermined number of times. And so the first one here, as we look at this, it says, is this a definite or indefinite? And so here's what you need to do is you look first at the Boolean expression, and we see x is the thing that's controlling, is the variable controlling the loop. When x is something other than 1, it stops it. Well, how is this loop? Do we know when this x is going to not be 1? Well, you look here, first of all, it's already 1, goes to the loop, and then here's x again, and x is scan.nextInt. Oh, so the user's input is going to change x. Well, let's see, what is the user inputting? Enter more miles. You can enter a 1 to continue or 2 to stop. So the user is going to type either a 1 or a 2. We don't know what they're going to type. We don't know when this is going to happen, when it's not going to be 1 anymore. It's indefinite. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is it indefinite or indefinite? And so on this one, so everything's pretty much the same, except there's a couple of changes here, especially the Boolean expression. So you go to the Boolean expression. Oh my word, I don't know how it does that. Okay, so you look at the Boolean expression and you go x is less than or equal to 5. So as long as x is less than or equal to 5, the loop will continue to iterate. Well, how does that x get changed? Well, you go here, it's going to update by 1 each time through the loop. So first time it's going to be a 1, and then the next time it's going to be 2 before it goes back up, 3, 4, and then 5, and then it'll become 6, and it'll stop the loop. We know exactly how many times it's going to iterate. It's going to go 5 times, and then it's going to stop. So this is a definite loop. Alright, the next one here is C, and so on this one it says while total miles is less than 500. So again, you look at the loop control variable, it's total miles. When is total miles going to get to 500 or more to stop the loop? Well, let's see if we can tell when that's going to happen. Well, total miles is in here, and this is you're going to add the number of miles that the user enters and add it to the current value of total miles. So this is going to accumulate more miles each time to the loop. Well, this depends on the number of miles that the user enters. Do we know how much the user is going to enter for miles? No. So do we know how or when the total miles will be 500 or more? No. This is indefinite loop. All right, let's go on to 8. Oh, I forgot to call this 7, 8, 9, and 10, and all the way to 14. So we'll continue on here. So name the loop control variable. The loop control variable is always in the Boolean expression. So for A, it's X, for B, it's X, and for C, it's total miles. The line where the loop control variable is initialized. Well, it's initialized when it's assigned a value at the beginning. And so in 1, then we could see that X is assigned on line 1. Here, X is assigned on line 1. And then, on C, total miles is assigned 0 at the beginning on line 3. That's when there is initialized. Where line 10, let's do this. Let's bring this down here. Line 10, where will the loop control variable be tested? Well, it's always tested in the Boolean expression. And so A, the Boolean expression is on line 4, B, line 4, and C is line 4. 11. The line where the loop control variable is updated. And it's going to be updated inside the loop. And so, when is the loop control variable updated? Well, the X is updated right here. It's the user's input will update X to either be 0 or 1, or I'm sorry, 2 or 1. And then in here, the loop control variable is updated. X is updated here, line 9. And on C, the loop control variable is updated right here, line 8. And then number 12, the accumulating variable in A. Well, which one? Yeah, remember, accumulating is like going from house to house at trick or treat. You get 6 pieces of candy the first house, second time through the loop, so to speak. You get 6, so now you have 13. And then you go to the next house, or go through the loop again. You get more candy, and you keep accumulating more and more and more. This is what's happening here. Total miles is getting more miles each time the user enters more miles, which is every time through the loop. So the accumulating variable in A is total miles. And 13, the counting variable, 13 and 14, counting variables in B and C are the ones that where you count by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 to count, to keep track not of a total or running balance or running total, is to keep track of the number of occurrences of an event. And so X here is the counting variable, and then X++ here is also the counting variable. And that is it for the Chapter 6 final review.